Hello, we are live. I am here welcoming you all to this stream. It's a little bit before 3 p.m. and let's wait until everyone is here. And now the notification of the YouTube went out, and now we are officially live. And I'm welcoming you all to the channel. And I wonder what channel is that. And Linda, hello, how are you? Thank you for being here. I'm so happy to greet you here on the stream. And I believe that everyone can hear me. And let's wait a little bit longer and while people going to get together. So I'm starting over here right now on my spot where I usually start my stream. No, normally I started on the couch by Don Peppers, and Don Peppers today decided to go upstairs and sleep on the bed. And well, I can blame him. I bought a new mattress, and it's Casper, and he really loves that mattress, and he stays there all day long. He really loves that bed, and I am not inviting you there because it's just because let him sleep there. And what else? I have still Linda. It looks like just the two of us here. And well, what time is it now? It's a little bit past 3, and the third person joined us. And so probably I should start talking. December Jam, hello Gail, how are you? Thank you so much for joining the stream. So let's begin the stream, and then people will be joining and they will be able to rewatch whatever they want to. Actually, today I was able to join Sasha and Masha for a little while, and I saw quite a few of our general crowd over here, and people were there. I don't know whether Jay is going to join us because he had a project to do, and I saw a few familiar faces. However, you probably all noticed that the channel name is now Russian with Lillian and Don Peppers. I don't know. I did it last night on the whim, the change of the name. It's I posted Don Pepper's video, the artificial intelligence and Don Pepper's, and I was thinking that maybe it's time, because really, if people come to the channel and all they see it's kind of a little cat, has nothing to do with Puma Messi, and you really have to scroll down to see whether it's how it's related to Messi, and that's why maybe it's about time to change the name. And besides the name Lillian and Don Peppers and Russian next to that, it's not going to limit me to any type of the content. And eventually, I think I will go just to my name. However, when today I logged into the Sasha and Masha stream, I still have the moderator range. And Ekaterina Levicheva, who is the longtime moderator on the I Am Puma channel, she asked me right away, how come, Lillian, you are no longer doing the Russian lessons based on Macy's content? And I said, well, I didn't know what to say in the chat, saying, yeah, kind of, I am turning the channel around, and all the Macy's content is going to be on the channel. However, the channel is going, since there are more and more videos with Don Pepper's participation, and he doesn't look like Messi. And I was asked the question during my consult with the industry leader on the YouTube. He says, well, let's be honest, you don't have an animal as unique as Messi. So that's nice that they lend you the name to ride on for a while, but maybe it's time to kind of really, as I say, cut the umbilical cord. I keep saying that. So yes, ta-da! Today is kind of a new channel, and it's good that it's so easy on YouTube to change the name. And if it's not going to work out, then I'll change it again, and I will play with it. For now, it's Russian with Lillian and Don Peppers, and that's why we posted yesterday the new video very late at night, at 9 o'clock at night. I posted 9:16. I posted that video because I was working all day, and I also was working on recording my next video that is going to be maybe interesting. Okay, I have two people watching. How come I have two people watching, but I have Sherry who joined? Hello, I have Gail who is here, and I have Linda. It's at least three people, and YouTube is counting only two people. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, yes, so you are being present at the birth of the new name. And what are you guys saying? I didn't notice till Lillian messaged me back last night. Yes, and last night when I changed the name, yes. And actually, my handle is not Russian with Lillian and Don Peppers because it's a long one. YouTube didn't take that, and so my handle is Russian with Lillian, and that's going to be the name for now. And again, Linda, I took your advice saying that if you're going to call it demystifying Russia, then be ready that you will get all type of negative messages and negative thinking and connotation and comment. And yes, posting that video, even the video about Pushkin and his great grandfather uh, Adam Abraham Hannibal, even that gave me a little bit of negativity because some person was saying like, yeah, right, significant influence on the world culture you Russians had. Yeah, name me that significant influence. And I said, well, here at least literature we have Tolstoy, Dostoevsky, and Pushkin, those who really influenced, especially Dostoevsky. He influenced the philosophical view of many thinkers throughout the century, starting from the 19th century and throughout the contemporary times. And that person, oh, only three writers. What else can you name? And I understood that that is going to be a pointless discussion because no matter what I'm going to say, it's going to be just that way. And Linda, thank you again for giving me that idea because I was no matter how I'm going to position that type of messaging to be an enlightenment, it's not going to happen because, again, so many people just have their way of thinking, and that's how life is. And for now, I'll try to stay within the frame of the name of the channel. I'm prepared. So it's going to be educational material, some historic, some maybe I'll talk about literature, maybe I'll talk about movies, maybe I'll talk about culture more, maybe I'll talk, I don't know. It's just right now, again, as I go, I publish as I go. Yesterday I was playing with the artificial intelligence, and it's so funny that when I typed the prompt saying, "Please give me a picture of a cat laying on the couch and playing," laying on the couch on its side and playing, and gray and white. And that's what I got in return. That was the cat, that was the couch laying on the back, I mean, laying on the side and doing something. And, literally, I don't know, maybe it has a life on its own. But last night, I swear to you, I didn't notice it had 5 legs. Honestly, I didn't notice. It's not that I didn't look or whatever. Only today when I got a message, the comment from Eric is saying 6 legs. I'm like, what is he talking about? I don't remember seeing any 6 5 legs or whatever. And then I'm looking at it, and sure it is. The fifth leg appeared out of nowhere. I don't know. Maybe those pieces of art created by the artificial intelligence, they live while they're being posted. Maybe they just grow things while they're thriving in digital space out there. Huh, go figure. I don't know. That's an interesting turn of thought when you're talking about artificial intelligence. I didn't think that I will be talking about that, but look where it takes us. Okay, what do we have here? Like 6 people watching. Welcome everyone who is here. Mimi, hello. One black cat, yes, hello. And again, I'm repeating to those who joined now that finally the change of the name took place, and now the channel's name is Russian with Lillian and Don Pepas, because Don Pepas was saying, Mom, what is that? It's Russian with Messi, with Puma Messi is no longer Puma Messi. That many pictures, many videos of him. And again, I don't know. I haven't informed formally Sasha and Masha about my change. Again, I said that Katya Ekaterina Levicheva today during in the chat, she noticed my new name, and I don't know. um, I guess we all entitled to go our separate ways on the YouTube, in YouTube space. And again, I'm very, very thankful to Sasha and Masha that they allowed me graciously to use now our beloved Messi's name for such a long time. And that again, I got my following. I got all of you because of your love for Messi, but then we've learned to love and trust each other, and you're here to be for me and Don Peppers. And Don Peppers is upstairs and he doesn't want to come back downstairs. And Pipusia, do you want to come here? No, he's sleeping. Jay, hello, how are you? So, where was I? What else is going on in my life? Not much. It's Jay was saying, like, why don't you join Sasha and Masha more often? And working full time, understanding that only 2 days a week you have your free days, and those days become so precious, and you really kind of treasure every minute of that, especially for me because I'm working. I'm trying to post new videos at least once a week here because I want to save the channel and preserve it, and so it will display some life. Actually, my channel earned me a second $100, which is going to be paid in this at the I believe at the next month in the 20th, because I just have $100.50. It came to the second hundred. Couple of days ago. So with all the viewership and with all the ad money, and yeah, look, it's I mean, yeah, it's not much, but still, it's money. Thank you so much for watching my channel and making it and commenting it, and the algorithm sees that the channel is alive and well. And it's all those 20-year-olds keeping you busy during the week. Yeah, well, Jay, they're not even 20 years old. They're 18 years old. Can you imagine that? But no, actually, yeah, we have different ages, but most of them, yes, 18 years old, 18, 19, they're not even allowed to drink in the bar. I'm still going to my voice therapy. That's why my speaking is not that great, and that's another reason that I don't make so many videos. And Sometimes I go twice a week to my voice therapy. Sometimes I go once a week. And now I'm in the classroom with the microphone and with the aid to relieve my pain and things. So that's that's what it is. And summertime, I love summertime, though the traffic is still not good. You have to leave house really early to make it on time. And today is the wonderful weather here where I am. Normally we have mid 70s. Today is 82, and in the morning I went to the ocean. That I also tried to schedule some time to take care of my needs, that I want to go and take and be in the nature, because during the week I'm pretty busy. Mónica Mendes, hello, hola, ¿cómo está, Mónica? Es un placer de verte como siempre. Y again, my controversial video about Ivan the Formidable, I call him, was, yeah, it got almost 1,000 views, and that was interesting, and I liked how it was, and it got some set some things in motion. I was thinking that maybe my second historical video is going to set some things in motion, but apparently people didn't like that much the story about Abraham Hannibal, and I don't know. So, well, I'll just go in to post the videos until something clicks, and I'm here with you guys, and thank you so much for coming here. Honestly, I didn't have any agenda to talk about today. If you have me any questions, I will answer those questions. And Lori, she wrote me an email talking about authors, saying that what Russian author would you recommend to read if I want to get really serious about Russian literature. And she said Dostoevsky probably is a must. I don't know. Dostoevsky, I mean, if you are not used to classical literature, if you are not used to reading like Charles Dickens, the 18th century British literature and something like that, to that style where you have long sentences and lots and heavy philosophical thoughts of the author that going on the page, Dostoevsky is not going to be a writer for you, because he is very serious. He is very, very, one of my teachers, literature teachers at the university, she was saying that never read Dostoevsky during summertime. He's very depressing writer. Dostoevsky is a winter type author. If you have that long winter night, you can curl up on your chair with your legs up and everything. You have your comfort around you, blanket, and then you take Dostoevsky. Again, if you're stable mentally, then you go after Dostoevsky. But yeah, but it's a serious read, really very serious read. But Bratya Karamazov's very good. And Idiot, I really love. I think my favorite would be The Idiot, and his shorter works. They also very, very good. But Tolstoy, Leo Tolstoy, my all-time favorite, Leo Tolstoy. War and Peace is the large. It's 4 volumes this thick, 4 volumes, 4 books like this. However, it's a beautiful story. We have few movies made throughout the period of time. I would encourage you to find the Soviet-made War and Peace that actually received an Oscar in the Best Foreign Movies category, and War and Peace. It's a very, very interesting movie if you don't want to read it. However, my favorite is Anna Karenina, and Anna Karenina is the novel that I take time every year and I reread it. I love that story. I love writing. I love how Leo Tolstoy is playing with words, how he writes about characters, how he really puts them in such circumstances that they are live people. And it's like so War and Peace, they have Prince Volkonsky, the fiance of the main female character Natasha Rostova. And in the Russian movie, he is played by a famous Russian actor, Vyacheslav Tikhonov. He's very handsome, very attractive. And in the book, he is just a brilliant prince, very eligible bachelor after he widows because his wife dies in first wife dies in labor, and that's why he is dating 15-year-old Natasha and proposes to her. And every reader is in love with Andrei, Prince Andrei, saying this. I mean, the characters, they live among Russians. They are part of the Russian society. And Andrei is being wounded in the war battle. And he dies of the wound. And that's how Tolstoy ends his life. And so many doctors, the generations of the doctors who grew up after Tolstoy wrote that novel and killed his character that way, they were saying, wow, if Prince Andrei lived now, I would have treated him, I would have saved him, I would have really did that and this, and and Prince Andrei would be alive, and Natasha and Prince would get married. Instead, Natasha marries Pierre Bezukhov, another character of that novel. So anyway, yes, those characters, they live among Russians, and I would recommend Anna Karenina to start reading if you want to get serious literature, Russian serious literature. However, I also got a post project from the Abraham Hannibal story because I had a lesson following up that video and saying, hey, here, yes, his great grandfather was black from Africa, that boy who was sold into slavery to Ottoman Empire, and then he was resold to Russia and gifted to Tsar Peter the Great, and he grew up at the court and he was brought up like one of the Peter the Great's children, and he made a formidable career, and he became just a wonderful person. And he had 11 kids, as I said, and one of his sons, he became father of a girl named Nadezhda, and Nadezhda gave birth to her son, who then became Alexander Pushkin. Alexander Pushkin is everything in Russian culture, and of course, because he is a poet, it's harder, of course, to read the stories that he wrote in poem, but he also had novels, and he wrote political novel, and one novel is about the captain's daughter. It was about the peasants uprisal in the 18th century. It was such a huge peasant uprisal in Russia. The peasant war led by Yemelyan Pugachev, and Pushkin wrote that novel. And for some reason, when I was growing up, I was like, oh, captain's daughter is such a frivolous name, like captain's daughter, captain's daughter. And then when I read it, and Pushkin with all the truth to the description, as he was a great author, he just described how that war was, how cruel that war was, that those peasants forces large amount, like few regiments. So it was an army. They were just going from town to town, conquering those cities, and when they were entering the towns, they killed all the Russian army people. They were hanging novelty and just beheading them. And they did that. It was kind of class struggle war without understanding Marxist theory back then. However, Why that was possible? Because Emelian Pugachev, the leader of those peasants, he claimed that he was a true son of Peter III, the guy who was murdered by Catherine the Great. And Catherine the Great, she usurped the throne. And that's why the people, they said, well, that German woman sits on the Russian throne, and here I am the son, the legitimate son. We need to go to St. Petersburg and dethrone her, and because this is I am the czar, and I have to claim that czardom, because that's how it's supposed to be. And that was the motivation good enough for the peasants to join him and go in against the official czar. And the military battles, they actually were on such a wide front of the such a big territory, that Catherine the Great, she was very concerned about it, and she sent regular army to suppress that motion, that movement or uprising. And the regular army, General Suvorov, actually went there, and they captured Emelian Pugachev, and they brought him to Moscow, and they quartered him. Yeah, they chopped off his legs, arms, head, and everyone was seeing that, watching that. It was in the Red Square in Moscow. He was executed. So, and Pushkin wrote the story based on these events. And the Tsar back then, he wasn't quite thrilled about that, and that's why Pushkin, as the person, he had very interesting relationship with the authority also. But my post project after that Abraham Hannibal story was about how Pushkin died, because Pushkin died when he was 37 years old. And 37 years old, look, about like an average person, when you are 37 years old, what did you do in your life? I don't know. It's well, I didn't achieve much by the age of the 37, and he died, and he lives in centuries, and everyone remembers him. And the other poet, the other second significant poet in Russia, Mikhail Lermontov, he is even younger, 28 years of age. He died, and everyone remembers him. But those two poets, Pushkin and Lermontov, they died a very interesting death. They were shot during the duel. And duel back then in Russia, it was something very, very special. And that's where my lesson um, took me. I said, okay, everyone knows about Pushkin stories, about his poetry, about his novels, and his the centerpiece poem, Eugene Onegin, the poem in verse. But very few people know that he was killed. He was killed at the duel, and he was killed by a French person, Edmond Dantes. No, not Edmond Dantes. This is I'm talking about. Count of Monte Cristo. Yeah, Dantes. His name was Dantes, but not Edmond. I don't believe that his first name was. So anyway, it was very interesting circumstance also. Pushkin was very famous. He was flamboyant. He grew up in Moscow high society. He went to the elite school. Everyone knew him. He was a celebrity back then, and though he was a celebrity, still, when he attempted to ask for hand in marriage of the first beauty of Moscow, Natalia Goncharova, he was rejected, saying that, no, you're kind of cool, but you don't have money, and we're not going to give you our daughter. So Pushkin went to another exile. The Tsar sent him back somewhere else again, and 3 years later he comes back and he asks for hand in marriage the same girl again, and the second time his proposal gets accepted and he gets married. So him and Natalia Goncharova, they wed, and she is very beautiful, and so just a very, very beautiful, gorgeous young woman. Uh, and Tsar, he loved Pushkin at that point, and he said, "Listen, your wife needs to be able to come to the court and to participate in the high society life. She should be able to dance at the balls, go to the dinners of the homes of the very famous people. So she should be part of the society. And you have to have a little bit of a higher status. And here I'm going to award you with the title of the I don't know what it was, the statesman of the 14th grade." And Pushkin was offended with that. Yeah, definitely it's a high rank, but it's like highest rank for the kid, but it's the lowest for the adult man. But that rank allowed his wife to be accepted into the noble society of the Russian life in St. Petersburg over there. And they say, the rumors said that the Tsar, when he was signing that decree for Pushkin Award, saying, so our beloved Natalie would be able to dance in those beautiful homes of the best people of the empire. And apparently someone delivered that message to Pushkin, and he was very depressed. Here he is. He married to the most beautiful woman out of all, and he leads this life, and everything is good. But maybe it's not good because he is not that wealthy. Some debts catching up with him, and then some rumors started to be spread that his wife may be making some advances toward that French guy. And that French guy was sure to just to make sure that Pushkin knew about those insinuations and rumors, saying that, hey, here is your wife, and maybe she is kind of glancing at me with more regard that the married woman supposed to. Pushkin, of course, and back then, and that's, I'm coming back to the duels. So the duel is the nobility code of honor, and only blood could clean the honor. And the dual pistols were a very, very common thing in Russia, and so many Russian young noblemen lost their lives in the duels. And one of the best Russian literary pieces were written also about the duels, how the duel overnight changes lives of two people at least, because one person is going to be killed and another person becomes a murderer right away, murderer. And that is psychologically, it's very intense. So anyway, yeah, Pushkin gets very depressed, and yeah, it comes to the duel. But before the duel, so all the, imagine, so the guy is living 1 year that the rumors are brewing and brewing, and then Natalia, Pushkin's wife, she had a sister, and that French guy actually married her sister. And the rumor even started even more, saying that Dantes is now in the family, so that huge scandal could be covered up, because everything now stays in the family. And Pushkin, with his character, he really didn't know how to handle that. And his seconds were sent to this guy, to Dantes, and so that duel took place, that duel took place, and Pushkin was wounded because Dantes didn't wait until the order to fire. The legend says so, or the account of the witnesses says so, and he shot a little bit earlier than Pushkin, and he wounded Pushkin in the lower part of the abdomen, and he damaged his liver, and then the bullet went uh, down, and I think the joint of his hip was damaged also, and he lost lots of blood. But in spite of that, he managed to shot in response also into Dantes, and he wounded him on his arm. So the story was again so many doctors after the fact. Pushkin was in agony for 3 days, and he died because no medicine that time could save him. And many generations of doctors, of modern doctors, saying that is such an easy wound to treat, that the modern medicine would have taken care so easily and Pushkin would survive. However, Pushkin died, and that's what I wanted to show to my students, that lives of people could be more dramatic than the name in history. Name in history, yes, Pushkin is the founder of modern Russian language. That's so wonderful. But how did he live? Every day of his life, he was just a human being. And every one of us, we are human beings, and so many um, circumstances play a role in our lives. And that's why when we are so judgmental and fast to jump to conclusions, it's why am I switching to this one? Okay, so that was the story. And the duels in the Russian society, by the end of the 19th century, they were outlawed. And in Europe, they were outlawed, but and in Russia also. But it was there. It was there, and yes, it's. I don't know. It's by the end of 19th century, it became less and less important. However, it stays in the memories, it stays in, and the officers sometimes, if for some reason it was among officers and military noble officers, they were saying only blood can clean my honor, only blood, yeah, and that blood ended lives of very many people. And I believe my students also told me that the United States also has something similar about that time. So that thing, pay with blood, it goes from biblical times, right? Blood for blood, an eye for an eye, and the world goes blind. Anyway, where I am, it's 3:37, and that was my detour about literature and life of Pushkin. So let's see what we have here. I have 9 people watching, and so idiot, yeah, idiot. Actually, Lori, you know, the idiot is the latest show. It's 10 episodes. It's very, very good. I don't know whether they have it in with the subtitles. I think maybe it is, yes, and this is probably the best idiot out there. And yeah, the brothers, you see, one black cat, she's saying that I tried to read Brothers Karamazov when I was teen. It is difficult. It is difficult. And I don't know, maybe you skip first the few of descriptions, and then when you go into the dialogues and something captures you and you can relate to those, and then the story will pick you up. That would be my advice to you. And also, before you go into reading, it would help if you write the asked AI to write the family tree of the tree of the names of one person, because if there is a Dmitry, one of the brothers, then he is Mitinka, Dima, Mitya, Mityusha, and all those five names, they all refer to one person, and it's very difficult to get lost when you're like Mityusha, Mitinka, Mitya, Dmitry, Dmitry, Mityai, etc. Um, oh, what else? Um, I did read War and Peace. That's wonderful. Yeah, War and Peace. When I was little, like when I was 12, I read Peace, but I skipped Wars. I read so the first volume and the third volume, because the second one was the war. The first the half of that was the war. But then when I was growing again, it takes rereading with the mind of an adult, because when you're a teenager, and first of all, when it's a mandatory read in school, it's one thing, and when you start reading something on your own, and then when you have a need and urge to reread it, and then definitely you pay different attention every time you discover something new when you reread it. And December Gem, she said, I read War and Peace many years ago. Anna Karenina is good to watch. I don't know. I really, again, I love Soviet version of that movie. It's very, very good. But reading it, the book is favorite for me, because neither of the movies they show one character, and Leo Tolstoy placed himself into this novel. So Levin, the character of Levin, it's Leo Tolstoy. And most of the movies they didn't include that person whatsoever, but he is very, very interesting. It's not even cameo, he is one of the main characters in the book. And it's interesting to read how Leo Tolstoy saw himself around that time and in that society. And of course, we shouldn't forget that Leo Tolstoy was a count himself. He was a wealthy person. He had his own peasants during serfdom, and then but he was a very progressive person, and then the serfdom was canceled in 1961. um, but he was kind of he tried to implement innovative things in his household, and yeah, and by the end of his life, he was even wearing beard like a peasant, wearing peasant clothes, and people were saying that he probably lost his mind. And who knows, maybe that was the case, because saying people, the rumors again, some kind of um, explorers of his life, researchers of his life, saying that he denounced Anna Karenina in his life, saying that there is no way he could have wrote the story about such a woman who violated societal rules. And that also was a very interesting statement. And we know that he went on pilgrimage in 1910. When he died, he was walking toward some destination, and he just walked into one train station, and he died there. And he was discovered there and then brought back already. So who knows what happened to his mind. He also had a conflict with the Russian Orthodox Church at the end of his life. He was excommunicated from church, and that also played major role in his later life. That's Leo Tolstoy I'm talking about. Fun with cars. Yeah, we are talking about you. Absolutely. They are talking about you. maybe I should start with Anna Karenina. Yeah, Lori, start, because Anna Karenina is such an easy read, and it starts from the very first phrase. You open the book and says, "All happy families are happy in the same way, and the unhappy families, they're all sad on its own way." And everything mixed up in the house of the Oblonskis. I just love that first phrase. Really love that. And it's I actually have two editions of the English translation, two different authors. And one translation says Anna Karenina, and another one says Anna Karenin. And they preserved the last name of her husband in gender masculine. So, and so Eugene Onegin, opera. Yes, opera is also very, very good. Um, uh, Tchaikovsky wrote the score, the music score, and it's beautiful also. Live and discussion, but if I have to work through some literature, build. Okay, so yes, Lori, some literature is a hard work, really. It's hard work because you have to concentrate. And that's why that's another discussion, that the modern world, contemporary world, is not going to sustain such serious art, because now we in the day of age of the title readings and the tweets and everything so fast, and the attention span is such short, and that it's difficult to read. And then people saying, why do I need to read such a lengthy stories? Why, can I make money with that? No. Then what good are they for? They are not good for me. They are not good for my well-being. I can live without those, without understanding that such fundamental works of art, the works of humanity for the humanity, that's what makes us humans. Because whether you're going to ask yourself a question, how come you can hurt a person, that the whole world shouldn't be hurting the world, because one teardrop of a child was so much. It's such a thing. So we cannot go around and hurt people and do all this whatever is being done. And yes, it makes you think, and for that to think, you have to slow down and see what the life is all about. And no wonder that it's such a depressing thing, because I mean, in order for you to slow down, sit down and start thinking, you have to, and then unavoidably you'll start questions, what is the life for, what am I here for, what did I do, am I doing good things or am I doing bad things? And that's why the good literature, the literature like that, it takes us into that realm. And that's why it's worth reading. And yes, it's hard work. Some of the literary pieces are hard work. And that takes me to my favorite Latin American stories, Latin American literature, because I told you that Spanish was my master's at the university, and we were reading Julio Cortázar and Gabriel Garcia Marquez, 100 Years of Solitude. And 100 Years of Solitude, I'm telling you, it's hard read. It is hard read. And yes, but you read and you kind of try that on, and you see yourself in those circumstances, and you see how some events shape you, and you just go through those things. And I don't know, try the societal norms onto yourself. Okay, Sherry's leaving already. I'm talking too much. And Lori is saying, I'm loving this discussion. Then Lori is saying, Lillian, what was this part of your education? Could you use original witness documents as in from a library? Fascinating. Well, Yes, and yes and no. Yes, I did study literature. I have a philological background, and philology, it's literature, languages, linguistics, and all that other stuff. And when we were taught at the university Russian literature, yes, though we didn't work with the sources from the libraries, but the teachers, our teachers, they were working with the sources, and they were in the publications that were based on those sources. And that's why, yeah, that's where my knowledge coming from. And what else? What else? Such a lovely discussion you girls are having there. Gail and Lori, it's so wonderful. I think Jay already left us. No, we have 10 people watching. So that was a serious discussion where we went, and Russian literature, very interesting. But I do agree, it's not only Russian literature. The world is such an interesting place, and every culture has something to contribute. That's why we are here. We live in our wonderful, wonderful world, and mixture of cultures, sharing of the cultures. That's what makes us human beings, and respect for one each other, which is very, very important. And I'm saying such a trivial things right now, and it seems like everyone should understand, but nevertheless, we live in such complicated world, and that complicated complexities of that world being created by us human beings, and our animals doing so much better. And what else? Oh, Linda, by the way, she sent me a link that in Los Angeles they spotted a mountain lion sitting on the family avocado tree, and they managed to take a good picture of that, and it looks very cute, very messy like, but it's very serious animal. So I think we're almost done. It's 50 minutes into the stream, and thank you so much. It's the last day of June, and Russian tradition, we are saying happy upcoming holiday. So an upcoming holiday for the people who live in the United States, of course, is 4th of July. Is going to be on Thursday. So happy 4th of July, happy and upcoming 4th of July. I will have day off, and I'm taking Friday off as well. So I will have 4 days off, and I'm looking forward to that, so I may create more videos. Please write in the comments what type of videos would you be interested in. I know that I've got a very interesting question. I believe it was Jennifer Russell. She asked me that question, saying, what about how the United States and Revolutionary War was viewed by the Russian people, or the Russian czars, or the Russian governments? How was that? And that is probably very good historic project to talk about as well, because yeah, Russians are actually sent few ships here to the shores of the United States. I believe they wanted to help in the Revolutionary War, to the American part. So, but I have to I have to come back to you on that. Um, that it is. And what else? Yeah. Thank you so much. I hope that it was interesting, because I sit down here, I'm talking with you about what interests me, and about things. And again, you found your time. You found time to be with me. It's already almost 4 o'clock Pacific time. It's 7 o'clock Eastern time. So it's getting late. It's the end of your Sunday. I appreciate you spending your time with me. I thought that maybe Don Peppers would grace us with his presence, but he is not. Artificial intelligence is very cool. Actually, the thumbnail for this stream, I also have a picture generated by the artificial intelligence, those cats in the basement of the museum guarding the artwork. That was a little bit better than the five-legged cat lying on the couch playing with something. So it's very interesting. Yeah, by the way, what do you think about my latest video about the adverbial participles? That's a beast in the Russian language, adverbial participles. So, but at least the video is short and I explain it on the verb to lie down, how it's being formed. So Peppers was lying on the couch and playing while lying on the couch. On this cheerful note, thank you so much for being here with me, and I'll see you live very, very soon. Meanwhile, I will be putting more and more videos on this channel, which is going to be all over the board, but they will be related to Russia. And the new name of the channel, Russian with Lillian and Don Peppers. Thank you so much and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day and great upcoming week.